new thing from a friend of mine. It's called Ponytail. Have you heard of it? It's it it it's a it's it aids it's a Claude aid for when you write programs. And the neat thing about it is it uses like instead of like building everything from scratch, it goes and looks and see if there's libraries that it can use. Anyway, it supposedly can make your code a lot more compact. Um, it looks pretty, I haven't tried it, but it looks pretty interesting and has like great reviews. So,
Ponytail. I think
Ponytail.
I've heard of it. Ponytail, I'm assuming AI is what I was searching for.
Yeah, something like that, right? It's on GitHub.
Oh, Dietrich Gerbert Ponytail. So it is.
I think so, yeah.
Makes your AI agent think like the laziest senior dev in the room. The best code is a code you never wrote. 54% less code, 20% cheaper, 27% faster. That's an interesting idea. A lot of
Yeah.
these AIs are definitely very verbose.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. That's the whole idea, right? Is it yeah.
You know him, long ponytail, oval glasses, has been at the company longer than the version control. You know, you show him 50 lines, he looks at them, says nothing, and replaces them with one. That's interesting. So they named it after a developer with a ponytail.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Uh-huh.
Okay. I knew a guy like that once. He
Uh,
taught me a lot about Python back in the day.
oh, really?
Yeah, when I first started doing Python development,
Uh-huh.
there was this like really senior Python developer that I was working with.
Yeah.
Like he had been doing Python for like 20 years or something like that. And I had just started at the time. I only had like half a year under my belt, maybe less. And he used to have a ponytail and he was like a really good developer.
Hmm.
Yeah, like he used to like cite PEP 8 standards to me. It's like, holy shit.
He
I
would
don't know if
cite
you know.
what kind of
Do you
he
know
knew that
do you know what PEP 8 is?
no, I don't.
So PEP 8, so he actually taught me what it was in the first place, but it's a Python standard, right? So it's
Oh,
like
okay.
generally accepted principles for Python, like the way that you should be
Oh,
doing
right, right.
stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he used to like cite those things for me. He'd be like, oh, yeah, PEP 8, number 5, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you shouldn't be doing this. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how do you memorize
Yeah,
all this stuff? Yeah. Yeah. This kind of reminds me of him a bit.
I see. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well,
Yeah.
when I was I mean I used Python for a few years, but what instead I mean I actually prefer Julia, but the production code was in Python. And what I didn't like it was it's it seems like there's like 10 ways to do the same thing, right? Um
Mhm.
and you know, I would get kind of, I mean, Google was my best friend then, and I would just try stuff and finally get it to work. But um, yeah, I don't know, I just found there was weird thing. I mean, I have to say, I mean, I find Julia to be much, from my tastes, I like it a lot better. But
Why do you say that?
oh, just the way, I mean, perhaps that the Julia has kind of the MATLAB syntax, first of all. And I don't know, I just like the way it does. I mean, it's meant for doing, you know, data analysis. That's what those guys wrote it for. And so you can't do everything,
Okay.
but it does it really, I don't know if you've seen, but I mean, it's incredibly fast. It's almost as fast as C++. Um,
Oh, that's nice. That's definitely
yeah.
helpful.
Yeah, so you don't need to write, you don't need to write things in one language and then for production, rewrite them so they're faster, right? I mean, that's
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Python's been getting a lot faster lately. They've been putting a lot of effort into that.
yeah. Well, if you use the what are the pandas, or there's this new one called it's not pandas, it's Polar. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
spent a lot of time with polars.
Oh,
It's
you did.
it's good and bad. It has
Oh,
its ups and downs. We
Uh,
originally started moving everything in Lumibot over from pandas to polars and just created such a mess. I said, screw it. I never want to touch that stuff again.
mm,
But but it did introduce some speed. It wasn't as much faster as I thought it would be. And a lot of this stuff in polars is now starting to get integrated into pandas anyways.
okay.
So
Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
Pandas 3 just came out not too long ago. So it's like they're working a lot on efficiency and speed.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I actually like, I mean, I think, and as you've noticed too, uh, the Parquet files, and
Yep.
then I use, do you use DuckDB?
Yep. Big
Yeah.
fan of DuckDB as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So those two, man, I was like, it changed, looking at some of these big options files, you don't have to read them completely in, you just read in what you need. And then when they're Parquet, they're fantastic, right? So, um,
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, because Parquet files, they have a really good compression on them.
Right.
But then you
Yes.
don't, yeah. And then also you don't have to read the whole file at a time,
Right.
right? You could do like lazy loading of the file.
Yeah.
And then DuckDB supports all of that and it's
Right.
able to like query it really easily. So yeah, fully agree with that.
Right. Yeah. I was impressed. I was very impressed because the
Yeah, we
options
actually,
files are the worst.
yeah. Yeah, we actually changed our backend for BotSpot to use Parquet files and DuckDB because before we were using CSV files, it was just so slow and the
Yeah.
AI just couldn't read it.
Right.
So instead, we made it load with Parquet files, and I think that gave us like a 5 to 10x speed boost. And then using DuckDB allows us to actually do like queries with an AI much better because if you pass like a whole bunch of data to an AI, it doesn't know what to do with it. It's not very good at like large data sets like that, but it is
Sure.
very good at writing SQL statements, which works well with DuckDB. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yes, I'm definitely a fan. I agree with you there. Cool. So how's your past
Yeah.
week?
Oh, well, I don't know, can't kind of nondescript.
Yeah.
Nothing that exciting. Yeah, I've
Oh
actually
yeah.
got, but I just wanted to mention I have to take off at 5:30. I've got another Zoom meeting that
Okay.
yeah, so but I might get back on later. Yeah, that shouldn't take too.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I just
Yeah.
wanted, in case you think I'm died or something.
Yeah, I know. It's no problem. That's no problem. Yeah, I'm just walking back home right now. I'll be home in about 5 minutes. Maybe set everything up.
Okay.
Uh, but we did make a lot of upgrades to our AI. I don't know if you've had a chance to work with BotSpot lately or not, but we're making a
No, I
lot of
haven't.
upgrades. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we've started using evals very heavily in our for our agent, right?
Uh-huh.
And it started. You could tell like it actually started to work really well because of it now. Because like otherwise, it's basically impossible to improve an AI. I'm convinced that like if you're trying to make like a good agent and you don't have evals, you're basically just guessing. And
You're
like it's
what are they called? Evals?
evals, yeah. So basically, we have like a whole suite of these. So I released 50 of them over the weekend.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
working on another 27 of them. Hopefully, we'll get it out by tonight.
Oh,
But basically, it like checks everything. So it's kind of like a unit test, right?
oh, okay.
But it but a unit test is different because it's deterministic, right? That you
Uh-huh.
could say this code doesn't perform this specific action, right? It's
Right.
like code that tests the code. Evals
Yeah.
are similar, right? But against AI, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
because of that, they're a little bit different, right? So first of all, because they're non-deterministic, you have to have like scoring mechanisms, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, did it do this? Did it do this? Did it do this? Did it do this? And then you could even like, I haven't set this up, but there's a way where you could even give it like a percentage return. It's kind of like what they do on like ChatGPT when they release a new model or Anthropic when they release a new model. They always have evals on them.
Oh, okay.
and they give them like a percentage passing rate, right?
Oh,
Yeah. So we
yeah,
basically built the same sort of thing for our AI agent now. So every time it tries to deploy, it automatically checks things like, if a user says, back test this for 30 days, make sure it actually listens to you and does it for 30 days, right?
yeah, right.
Um, or if a user says, analyze this back test, then there's like a checklist that has to go through it. We like check, does it actually do that? Right? Does it look at the logs? Does it look at this? Does it look at that? When it turns back to me, returns back to you, does it structure it correctly? And we actually have
Right.
like another judge LLM that's checking the response, right? So the eval produces like this, checks what tools are called, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll show the resulting text to another AI that is now scoring it and saying, how good was that response? Was it acceptable
Yeah,
enough? Did it mention the max drawdown? Did it mention the annual return? Did it mention this or that? Right? You can actually
right.
score it based on that.
I see. Okay, good. I
So
see. Right.
it's a lot easier, or I would say even further than that. Say this is probably the only way to make an AI agent that you can be confident that actually works well. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like what
yeah,
I always do, I think you've done this too, is that, when in the prompt, I always tell it, don't make anything up, make sure that you can verify all your references and stuff. And that actually seems to help quite a bit in terms of giving you, in terms of it not giving you some wacko hallucination, right? Um,
yeah. I'm kind of surprised that that works for you because I actually saw something on Twitter where people were like making fun of that
oh,
because
really? Hmm.
yeah, because I don't know if I haven't tried it or not, right? But there
Yeah.
was this developer on Twitter, and they're basically showing off what Mark Andreessen does for his system prompt. Right? And Mark Andreessen basically wrote what you wrote, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
don't make any mistakes, don't
Yeah.
hallucinate, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And is making fun of it. He's like, that's not going to actually work because, that's just not the way the models work or whatever. He made his own argument. But so I'm
Oh.
surprised that you're saying that actually does work.
Well, yeah. I mean, what it did for me is I was basically trying to get, it was more of a kind of like an academic survey, of various papers and stuff, and then summarize, then like get a summary of each, and I specifically told it that it had to give me, verifiable references, and um, don't make stuff up. Anything you write has to be verified. And I thought it did a pretty good job. And it specifically mentioned that you know, it, it it understood that and was doing it, right? So um
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I guess if you tell it, give me verifiable references, that's more concrete than
yeah.
just saying, don't hallucinate. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right. No,
Right?
exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, does it actually that'd be fun. I ask it, do you do you ever hallucinate your
Yeah.
result?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. This what was there's like this TikTok meme that was going around for a while. It was like these guys, I don't know, from some third world country or whatever. And he's basically saying, chat GBT, make me rich. Don't make any mistakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, actually on YouTube, there's a bunch of people who tried exactly the prompt that you did, with uh over the last 6 months, find a system that makes the most money as possible or something like that, right? And
Yeah, that makes more sense.
yeah,
Yeah. But this was meant to be like a joke, or at least I think it was a joke. Maybe he
yeah,
actually meant it, but it definitely turned into like a meme and joke type thing where
right.
he's like, make me rich, don't make any mistakes. It's like, okay.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people are doing it. Like I've heard some people that are using like Claude Code and Codex and like really getting some pretty crazy results in terms of like financial results. Like it's making a lot of
Yeah.
money for them.
Yeah, but I've also seen people who say they've lost a lot of money, you know?
I'm, s-
So, I mean, I'm sure they have, but
yeah, I'm
um,
sure they have.
I'm sure that's a easier way to, you know, I mean, it's easier to lose money than make it, right?
Always, especially with entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, I've started my share of businesses, and I can say that from first experiences. You know.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Okay. So I'm just getting set up right now. Can you give me like 2 minutes and
Oh
then
yeah, no, you
everything
could
set up
punch time
upstairs?
tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Okay. Be right back.
yeah, okay. Me too.